Let's bring in NDP strategist Tom Parkin. Hey, Tom, it's been a while. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Todd.
So, let me be blunt. I look at those numbers. It seems to me the party's in trouble. Singh could lose his own seat in BC. Your party could lose official party status. What's going wrong here?
Well, I think the essential thing of what went wrong was that Mr. Poilievre is such a detestable figure for so many of us who are New Democrats that they will do anything, even vote Liberal, to stop him from becoming the Prime Minister. But that job seems to be accomplished, and now the real threat is, in fact, Mr. Carney becoming Prime Minister with a very big majority, and Mr. Poilievre being the only opposition person across the aisle, and the New Democrats not being strong enough to push back. And Jagmeet today talked about what happened in the 1990s and early 2000s when that was the case before. Big spending cuts, healthcare massively, absolutely slaughtered, big corporate tax cuts, et cetera, et cetera. So the fear that that could happen again, that it will be a question of, Mr. Carney's already promised $28 billion in cuts. He hasn't said where they are, but that it will be the party of Mr. Carney's big cuts facing off against Mr. Poilievre's, in opposition, Mr. Poilievre's party of massive cuts. And nobody's saying, wait a minute, hang on. What about the really rich people? What about the people who are struggling to pay the groceries? What about controlling prices? What about making sure that rents maintain affordability in this country? These are all things that Jagmeet has focused on. He's brought new ideas to the table in this campaign about. And that is, again, a historically important piece of Canada, is that the New Democrats have put things on the table like healthcare, pharmacare, childcare, etc. And that is a fundamental reason why Canada is different than the United States. And so to see the New Democrats to be weak, I think, would be to see Canada weak.
Hey, let me ask you whether you're now worried, though. You and I have been talking for years and years. You've been on the show many times. So, frank, blunt question for you. Are you worried, Tom, that you guys might lose official party status on Monday?
Yes, I am. I am worried. I do think that the party is going to perform better than what those poll prediction sites show. I think there's a lot of problems with those kind of sites. They're very inaccurate. We saw that in the Ontario election.
Yes.
And I believe that what we're seeing is a concentration of vote behind incumbents for the NDP. But still, I do believe the polls in their, in the average. And it means that I think in these last few days, people who have voted for the New Democrats in the past really have to reflect on the riding in which they live, and whether how they can best use their vote to ensure that the New Democratic Party and a piece of Canada, a piece that's so important to Canada, continues to be strongly represented. If you're in a place where, the Liberals aren't, the Conservatives aren't a factor, vote NDP. If you're in a place where there's an NDP MP, obviously go vote NDP. If you're a place that's like a Liberal bastion, the Liberals always win, and there's hundreds of those bastions for the Conservatives and the Liberals, at NBQ for that matter. Why not get out there and vote for the NDP and show that your local candidate the support? It's not going to make an impact. It's not in any way going to help Mr. Poilievre. I know that's a bit of a tough story to try and tell on the doorstep, but I think New Democrat voters understand that without official party status, without a strong voice in the Parliament, this country will go backwards at a very sensitive time.
Tom Parkin, NDP strategist in Toronto, with his take. Tom, I look forward to talking to you next week. We'll see how it plays out, my friend.